over from one Wolves legend to another. There has been a controversy surrounding our own Tolu Arokodare. He left the Belgian league as one of the top goal scorers. He went to Wolves, and he has been struggling with Wolves and the rest of that. During their last preseason, he refused to train. He had an issue with the management, and he refused to train, and they had to stop training and bring security to try and take him out. Yes, he has come out to deny that he continues to do his job and the rest of that. However, it seems because he's unhappy, things are not going on for him. And I will start with Collins here. What do you make of this news? And welcome, Collins. What do you make of this particular news of Arokodare disrupting training and Wolves having to bring in security to be able to take him out for training to continue? Also, there has been controversy surrounding his transfer. I think he wants to leave. He wants to go to a club that has much more ambition than the Wolves, and that is not forthcoming. Collins.
Okay, so I think the whole problem started when a bid came in from Fiorentina. A bid of, I think, 18 million euros thereabout, 18 or 19 million euros thereabout, came in from Fiorentina. So, Fiorentina finished very low in the SerieA table. I think they finished there 16, 15, or thereabout. They were in the bottom half of the league. Yes, so they are in the process of trying to restructure the team. Yes, and they're in the process of trying to build a team that can challenge the top half. Yes, sir. So that's why they've gotten that Ivory Coast guy or Noah from Trabzonspor. Understand? So they're trying to build a team. So they sent in a bid for Arokodare. So you know what? You are the striker that we think can help us lead this project. First bid got rejected. Second bid got rejected. And that is why Arokodare is as bitter as he is. Wolverhampton are in the championship. They're in the second division of the Premier League. And Arokodare is not okay with playing in the championship. Okay, now you have a Fiorentina that are interested in him. Let him go. You understand? So it's just a matter of, it's just transfer dispute. You understand? And it happens from time to time. We saw it with Ousmane Dembele when he was in Borussia Dortmund. Then wanted to move to Barcelona. And so he went on strike for like 1 week that they had to find him and the like. So these things happen. And so he's now left to Wolverhampton. He's an unhappy player. You don't want an unhappy player in your team. Yes, I understand the fact that you want to fight back and come back to the Premier League, and also you need some players, you understand, to help you do that. But once a player has stated his mind, you understand his intent that he is not interested, you understand, he is unhappy playing for the club, the best thing is to let him go. We've seen what West Ham has done. You understand, selling Matheus Fernandes to Tottenham for 80 million, selling Somerville, you understand, for like 70 million, you understand, and then they spoke to Jarrod Bowen. You see, Jarrod Bowen, you know what, we like you, you understand, and we don't know if you'd like to stay in the championship, and we'll reverse your contract, or you will look towards your contract. And Jarrod Bowen was like, okay, it's fine. And that's why I see Jarrod Bowen signed a new contract with West Ham. You understand? So it's fine. So if a player is not fine with being in the championship, why do you want to impose the player there? You understand? So I think that's why we are having all of this back and forth. You understand? Considering the fact that the transfer didn't go through at 9. So there's a possibility they still come back for him. You understand? But the thing is, Arokodare is not happy to be there. He doesn't want to be in Wolverhampton. And considering the fact that Wolverhampton just sold one of their best midfielders, João Gomez, to Aston Villa. You understand? So players are leaving. You get, once a club gets relegated, players start to leave. So Arokodare wants to leave, and the club are making it difficult for him to go. So that's the reason for the whole back and forth. Yes, he will come outside to debunk it. You understand? Because he doesn't want to create a tense atmosphere between himself, the fans, and the club.
But before I go to Collins, I mean, see, the thing is this, and I want to clarify this for me. He has a contract with the club. The club has every right to keep him if they want to keep him, because I mean they hold all the aces here. That's number one. Number two, does this not damage his reputation with other club? That's number two. Number three, what is with our players making insane moves? We saw Akwa Adams leaving Sevilla For Venezia, Arokodare was on top of his game in Belgium. If he had waited one more season, he would have probably gotten a better move than Wolves. He decided to go to Wolves. The other guy, I can't remember his name, the one that went to Crisantos Uche, that went to Crystal Palace. The same problem. Awoni was doing so well in Germany. He decided to go to Nottingham Forest. Awoni is a shadow of himself. Yes, injuries there. But what's with our players making all this crazy move that doesn't make any logical sense?
Yeah, I spoke about this some while ago, and it's very, very disturbing that our players. But I think in the case of Arokodare, moving from Wolverhampton to Fiorentina, for me, is a step up. You understand? For me, it is a step up. But when you consider, in fact, to be honest with you, I was surprised that he moved to Wolverhampton. Let me be completely honest with you. I was surprised he moved to Wolverhampton. I was expecting him to make a move to Germany. You understand? Or I wasn't expecting Wolverhampton because Wolverhampton has been struggling for a while. Yes, and they've been struggling. They've been in the bottom half of the Premier League for some seasons now. So I do not really understand why he came to Wolverhampton. But there's a picture that Nigeria players have. They want to play in England. They want to play in England. You understand? If at any slight opportunity they have, they want to play in England. That is why you saw Polonachu delivering the goals in Turkey, and then all of a sudden you heard that he joined Southampton. Southampton.
That went
You
badly.
understand? He joined Southampton, and then he got relegated. And then now you can see him scoring goals. Even has more goals in Turkey than Osimhen.
Yes.
You understand? So I do not really know how to cap it up. I don't even really know what to say about it. But Nigerian players and their transfers, it's just something that doesn't always sit right with me. I don't know if it is agent based. I don't know if it is, but for Arokodare trying to force a move from Wolverhampton to Fiorentina, I think that one is ambition based. You understand? That one is ambition based. So that's just it. And I think anybody would have wanted that kind of move. But even Awoni, when he was in Union Berlin, pouring in the goals, I was thinking he was going to take a move from probably maybe Union Berlin to like Bayern Leverkusen, you understand, in Germany or a top. And then I saw him going to a newly promoted Nottingham Forest. That I don't know. As Nigeria players, I do not even really understand. I don't know if it is for the money. I don't know if it is, but sometimes they have their personal preferences. Some will be like, okay, you know what? I want to play in the Premier League. By all means, by all, by everything, I want to play in the Premier League. So they don't even mind if it's all City. They don't mind if it's Coventry. They just want to play in the Premier League. And moves like that sometimes dent your image. You understand? If look at Polonachu now, people actually thought he was done with football. You understand? His time at Southampton, people thought he was finished with football, that he has played. And then going back to Turkey, see him banging in the goals, and then you wonder, like, you understand, was the move even necessary in the first instance? Yes, so for Arokodare, it's a good move for him, and for all other Nigerian players that want to make the move, make moves, you understand? Just make moves that tally with ambition, because with the way Eric Chell is going now, if you are not playing, you are not playing. And I think that message is clear enough for Nigeria players. That is why you see that they are good. They are trying to make moves that will help them play. You understand? You can see, I think Onyejika also is heading to Frankfurt. You understand? So they are trying to make moves to put them in that limelight, in the spotlight, where they can still be selected, where they can be considered for selection. You understand? So if Arokodare is moving to Fiorentina, it's a very good move. Ako Adams to Venezia, I think I went back to study that transfer, and I can see that Sevilla are in need of money. Yes, and Sevilla are really in need of money. So I think Venezia was the club that bid the highest. Yes, and that was why they had to sell him. You understand? There's a, you know, when a club bids the highest, there's a way the club will do it with the player, that the player will eventually leave. You understand? So I guess maybe it was because Sevilla saw that, you know what, this money Venezia are tabling, no other club has tabled this much. You know what, you have to go. We need money. You understand? So I guess that was the reason why he went there. Other than that, I do not really understand. But for other Nigerian players, I hope this transfer window, they make the right move. They make ambitious moves, or moves that gets them playing. I saw our brother Kelechi Iheanacho, yes, and going to the Turkey second division with Buraspor, and I in fact, well, he has won everything that I think he wants to win. You understand? So I think he's just he said the project is interesting to him. So let's see how that move unfolds.
Okay. I mean, Collins. Welcome back. We lost you there a bit. I mean, Nigerian players, the kind of move that they make, I do not understand it. What do you make of this Arokodare drama? And also, what do you make of Nigerians making a crazy move? Iheanacho left Celtic and went to Division 2 of Turkey. Celtic that is likely to play in Europe, you left them alone to go and play in second division of Turkey. How does that even make any sense? Collins.
Good morning, Mr. Mayowa. Good morning, Mr. Temioniwa.
Good morning.
Apologies. My Airtel network just decided to be unfortunate this morning, and it's still misbehaving.
I
Lagging a
understand.
bit.
Yeah, I understand. No problem.
Okay.
It's fine.
Um. Honestly, I really don't know how you go from scoring 21 goals in a season, 6 assists. I mean, having 27 goal contribution, winning the Golden Boot in the Belgian Pro League. You understand? To scoring 3 goals in a season. That's really terrible. Like
Hmm.
that is really terrible. And even if you study this guy's profile, Tolu Arokodare, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Tolu,
Arokodare.
if you study, you understand,
Just
he
call him
has the
Tolu.
same. Okay, he has the same body built. Is built like Haaland. He's 6'4". You understand? Aerial ability, he has it. You understand? He's a very good presser. He knows how to press well. You understand? He's very clinical. You understand? So what happened? You understand? What happened? Why did he have such a poor season? Why did he score only 3 goals for Nottingham Forest in the entire campaign? You understand? That's one of the reasons why I think that's one of the reasons why he's frustrated. The club is frustrated. Now you are seeing news like let me just state it now that what we don't know the official story yet. You understand? All we've seen is rumors, this one speculations and everything. We don't know the official story yet. Until the club comes out and say, okay, this is what happens. This is what happened. You understand? A statement is released. This is what happened. That's what happened. Yes, that's when you can know that yes, this is what happened. But according to what I've been saying so far, you understand? It was said that he tried to stage a protest, during training, and it caused the training to be interrupted and everything. Yeah, and this was due to the fact that the club wanted to sell him to another club, and he didn't want to go there. He wants to go to Fiorentina, and there is a clash of interest. Do you understand? I feel like there are two sides of the story here. There's the side where Nottingham Forest are in the right, and there's the side where Tolu is in the right. That's why I said until we know the actual story, we cannot make certain conclusions. We cannot make certain claims. And Tolu himself has said it, that what is seen in the news and everything is not true. That he has been a professional and everything. So the news that they had to involve security to banish him or to prevent him from training with the first team, I feel like that's absurd, because if it has gotten to that level, there is no point. There's no home for him there anymore. If it has gotten to that level and he's still forcing he's still trying to be if you have gotten that message as a professional footballer and you are still there, what are you doing there? Trying to do what? Trying to force your way back? What do you think will happen? So it doesn't make sense that he's still trying to be stubborn about it when the coach has made it pretty clear that he's not going to change with the first team. So it doesn't make sense. Now, as of Nigerian footballers making wrong decisions, I mean, are we surprised? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I know we start on this show and talked about Victor Osimhen before, about who is his next destination, and I think it was me and Mr. Solomon and we were having an argument about oh, not rather a talk. You understand? I think because we were on the same side that day. Whether I should go to Barcelona, Real Madrid, any of the European powerhouses. You understand? And we're like, okay, how about to stay in Galatasaray? You understand? Where is loved, where is cherished, where is respected, where is treated like a god. You understand? They worship the ground this guy walks on. You understand? And this is Turkey. We all know Turkey have when it comes to racially profiling players, Turkey is up there. And yet they don't do it to Osimhen. I mean that says a lot. If you ask me, that says a lot. You understand? So you cannot go from that to where you be criticized, where you be lambasted, where you be a scapegoat. You just need one bad game, just one bad game in any of the European powerhouses. And the funny thing is that when it comes to Nigerian players making bad decisions, they are not under duress, they are not under stress or force. Like, okay, we are in a rush to make certain decisions. They have all the time in the world to make the perfect choice for themselves. I mean, they are professional footballers. You have to choose what's best for you, right? And you gonna be choosing a club in Turkey division two. It doesn't make sense. You understand? It doesn't make sense because okay, remember when we were talking about Stanley Nwabali? I mean, he ended up staying at Chippa United, but there was a time in there the club to go to. Do you understand? There was a time where he could have he wanted to go to any of the European clubs. Do you understand? And ball for them. You understand? And I think that's when Kazia Chiefs were interested. Some clubs in Morocco too were interested in him. Yes, I remember we even talked about it on this show. His next decision, and I also said then that he should go where it's going to be comfortable. Do you understand? He should go where, because there's as Sterling Nwabali did like this, he doesn't have anything to prove. He doesn't have anything to let me say, like, let me go for the name, let me go for the respect, let me go for the recognition. You understand? It doesn't make sense at this point of his career right now. It doesn't make sense. So I feel like there are many factors to consider when going for the club you love. Back then, when you mentioned this thing on the show, and I was like, Stanley Nwabali staying in Africa was the best choice for him. That's what I said. I said him staying in Africa. I mean, there are clubs in Africa that pay well. South Africa League pay so well, and they don't owe salaries. South African League is one of the top footballing leagues in Africa. You understand? If I'm not counting Morocco, South Africa League is up there. So they are solid for him. And I'm glad he stayed with Chippa United because I think he stayed with a salary increase or something. But the point here is that you don't go because of the name. You don't go because, okay, so and so thing is interested in me, let me just go. The case of Tolu going from the highest goal scorer in Belgium League to being a flop in Nottingham Forest is terrible. Because to me, being a flop in Nottingham Forest is not better than being a star in Belgium. Being a star in Belgium is better than being a flop in Premier League. I'm telling you, Premier League is nothing. There's nothing there. Sure, you have gone to Nottingham Forest, you have seen it. How is life? How is life? So it doesn't make sense one bit. It doesn't make sense. If he has certain limitations to the game, where I can say, okay, this is the reason why it didn't shine, this is the reason why it flopped, but it doesn't. The only limitation I have to this game is maybe it doesn't track back enough. You understand? And we all know how defensive Nottingham Forest can be. So I think this is the mindset thing. This is when it comes to Nigerian players, it's a mindset thing. They are just like, okay, I'm in Nigeria, let me just do this, let me just do that. Why there are some Nigerians that their mindset is already shaped to believe that they are bigger than certain things. And I'm glad for that kind of Nigerians we have. They are not shaped that they are, and these are Nigerians that don't play for Europe, they don't play for a national team. Those are Nigerians that play for Europe. You understand? They don't play for a national team. But the ones that play for a national team, their mindset is just backwards. It doesn't make sense. You understand? It doesn't make sense. That as a professional footballer, whether you're in Nigerian or whether you're in South Africa, wherever you are, you should have the mindset to have to do what's best for you, to go where you are loved, to go where you are cherished, not because of the name. If you are going because of the name, it's showing mediocrity, it's showing it's showing pick me. Yeah, professional football, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So it's sad to see certain moves that Nigerian players are making. Trust me, it's really sad because it's just showing that which validation are you looking for? Which validation are you looking for? It doesn't make sense. You understand? If you know your worth, you should know your worth. Thank you.